All right, hey, good morning. It's Rob, and I'm here to weigh in on this controversy that erupted after the presidential debate. Debate? All right, hey, it's Rob, and I'm here to weigh in on the controversy that arose after the presidential debate on Tuesday night between Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump. Most people say, I certainly say, and I support her, so maybe I'm biased, but even news outlets like Fox, they admitted that, she indeed won the debate, that she did a lot better, she didn't lose her cool. Of course, Donald Trump was looking okay from the beginning, and as it progressed, he just went, further and further off topic, and, totally went off the rails at certain points, as he does. And I'm not getting political here. I don't even want to get into any of that. What I want to talk about is this controversy where they said that Kamala Harris was wearing these Bluetooth earrings. They look like pearl earrings. They're made by a company called Nova, who, listed them on Kickstarter. And so people are saying that they were feeding the audio into her ears via these Bluetooth earrings that had the pearls on them. And that's how she was doing so well. So they went from saying that, all right, she couldn't debate. She, Trump says she's not a smart person. She, doesn't do well in these situations, which is why she's not interviewing. She's not able to, hold her own in a debate. So she must have cheated. So now they're saying, all right, well, she was wearing these earrings made by this company, Nova, and that's how she was doing it. They were feeding her the audio into her ears. Now, I'll show you a picture right here. The earrings she was wearing, which are actually pretty expensive, and the matching necklace, which was around 20 grand or something just for the necklace, I think. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, maybe it was a gift. So the earrings she wore are Tiffany earrings. You can take a look at them right here. These, you can see, obviously have these two metal protrusions on the bottom. I don't know what you call them as part of the design. Two metal rails underneath that hook over. And these are the Nova Bluetooth wireless earrings. Now, yes, they both have a pearl on them, although even the pearl looks different. But you can see the Nova has a solid stem on the bottom. Does not look the same as what Kamala Harris was wearing, although they look similar. Now let's get into the weeds here. First of all, you would have to just accept the fact that there was a giant, scam, a cover-up, whatever, being perpetrated by ABC, where they clearly wanted one of the candidates to do better than the other one, and provided them with this aid, these Bluetooth earrings, so they would have been in on this whole scheme from the beginning. And we're going to have to assume that there was a secret person hidden. Now, Bluetooth only goes 30 feet away, so this person would have to be pretty close to the stage and would be, feeding information into Kamala's ear. All right. Now, the Trump campaign, they were there too. They had a secret room built that the Trump people couldn't see, but ABC knew about. I mean, it gets far-fetched just from the beginning to think about it. All right, and then you think, well, who would this person be who would really be so good at answering these questions, and how would they know how to answer the questions immediately to feed it into her ear? And then, so people say, oh, well, they fed this person the questions, whoever this handler, this person is, who was, pulling, Kamala's puppet strings, that this person had knowledge of the questions beforehand. Now, the first thing you would say was, why didn't they just give Kamala Harris the questions? Why would they give it to one of her staffers or whatever? So she would have been aware of what questions were going to be asked or whatever. They got her prepared ahead of time. All right, it's kind of neither here nor there. So we're thinking about the fact that someone is off stage saying lines to her, and then as they are saying lines in her ear, which she's never really heard before, maybe she prepared and maybe she would have heard some of it or whatever, but wouldn't know what order it was going to be and all that kind of stuff. So She then has to repeat what she's hearing in her ear and sound natural doing it in front of 73 million people. Just, try this for yourself, and I'm going to do this in the video. But interestingly enough, it's not like this has never happened. Dick Clark, when he used to go on auditions, he had a tape recorder hidden in his leg, and he would practice like the delivery and I guess for maybe advertisements for cigarettes or whatever companies he was auditioning for. He would practice what he was going to say. He had a little earpiece, and then he would repeat it. Now, even then, like, I've heard this story, like, there's no way they didn't see it. These earpieces were not small back then. Now we have things called earwigs that I use as a production sound mixer. They're very small. They go in your ears. They have a little teeny clear antenna that sticks out just like maybe, I don't know, a quarter of an inch, half an inch, something like that. Oh, what's going on up there? But anyway, even those little earwigs that go in your ears and they match your, skin tone and whatever, like, we only use them when a person's going like this, and then we put it in this side because, it's going to be seen on camera or, very far away or whatever, but you would still see these earpieces hidden in there. So, again, these people are claiming that Kamala Harris is wearing these Nova Bluetooth earrings. Now, on the stage, there is no audience. So the earrings are not inside your ear like AirPods, they're outside your ear. It's a speaker, and, even if they were low or whatever, I think anyone standing on the stage, including Trump, would probably hear something, maybe not the words, but they would hear the audio transmission. She's standing in front of a microphone. She's wearing a microphone right here. Think about it. I got a speaker here and a microphone right here. The microphone's going to pick it up. We would have heard like chatter or whatever, maybe not the exact words. We would have heard something. If it's loud enough to get from here to her ear, it's loud enough to be picked up by a lav microphone, a sensitive microphone that is right here, or the one in front of her. It's pretty likely that this would be very difficult to get away with, even if you wanted to, even if you thought you could get away with it. So there's all that, and then there is the actual performance of listening to something that you've never really heard before and repeating it and making it sound natural. So I'm going to do that right now. I've got a YouTube video up on my laptop of me, so I already said all these things. I'm going to put it in headphones, and I'm going to try to sound natural as I am delivering this information. Here we go. I'm just going to put it in one ear, and I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to just try to, do what people are claiming that Kamala had to do the night of the debate. Well, hey, it's Rob. Thanks for stopping by, and for basically my whole life, I've really wanted to make a documentary about interesting music-related subjects for a long time, but I don't have the money to pull it off, so I'm gonna make a video instead about this guy I learned about an hour ago. I'm obsessed and fascinated by the story of Michael Smith. He lived in the Charlotte area of North Carolina, and the FBI today they're charging him with scamming all of the streaming services. All right, now again, this is something I already said, and I said it recently, so it's somewhat familiar to me. And I may have been exaggerating a little bit, maybe with a lot of practice of doing that kind of thing, I'd get a little smoother at it, but you're not going to be able to get and retain all the information. And even if a person is working with you and trying to make it work out with the timing and all that kind of stuff, you would basically have to say a short phrase, stop talking, you would repeat that short phrase, and then you'd hear the short phrase, and then you'd have to repeat, This would be very, very difficult. Somebody would have to practice for a really long time to get good and natural at that. And you saw her delivery. You saw when she was impassioned about what she was saying. Her delivery was smooth. It was not halting. Maybe Joe Biden could get away with something like this because we all know he kind of starts and stops and gets hung up and that kind of stuff. Well, that really didn't happen during Kamala's debate performance. So, again, we'll wrap it up here and say, I think, regardless of what side you are on, it's just very unlikely she would have been able to pull off this kind of scheme without other people knowing, hearing the audio, being aware of it, not getting caught with some, like Wizard of Oz type person hiding somewhere behind the stage in close vicinity. Again, you can only go 33 feet or whatever for Bluetooth, so they had to be pretty close by, but still hidden somewhere where no one from the Trump campaign would see them, and hope that no one could hear these earrings. They would have to have tested them somehow with nobody else around who would give it away. There are multiple ABC staffers, hundreds of people that work on the debate, that do the audio and the camera and the lighting, and they set up the craft service and they do the makeup, and you name everything you can think of. They all would be aware or, suspicious about something in her ears that was making noise. They, probably have to do sound checks and things like that beforehand. Maybe that was the first time they came out when she shook Trump's hand for the first time. Maybe it really was. But in any case, very, very unlikely they would have been able to pull something off like this. First of all, it's a Kickstarter campaign. It's not even, likely that people would know about this product. They were, part of a Kickstarter campaign, and yeah, they were out there or whatever, or maybe they're making them now and they're on the market, but, more likely than not, like I said, these earwig products that everyone uses when they're being fed lines, when they're acting. I worked on Rock the Block, which was a HGTV show, and what's his name, Ty Pennington. We gave him an earpiece, and they would say things to him. He would repeat them, but the camera would cut. So they would only show you the part where he's repeating the thing, and then the camera would cut. They would cut to the contestants or whatever. So in editing, they made it work. Obviously, there's no editing during the debate. So once again, very unlikely that they could have pulled off this kind of, ruse to fool the American people. Lots of people would have had to know about it. People would have been suspicious. The audio would have been heard in the microphone. So I'll leave it at that. I think that's what we got today, and people just, need to admit, regardless of what side they were on, that she just did better than him. She's already asked him for another debate because she knows now, that she's going to do pretty well in these things, and he's saying, well, we'll see. I think he has to know at, some level that maybe he didn't do that great. Of course, he says he did, and that he won, and everything like that, but I'd be surprised if they do another debate. I don't know what else they would get out of it. The election's only like 54 days away or something. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't think there's any way, that she could have cheated. Of course, I'm wearing my Birds Aren't Real t-shirts. So I'm into conspiracies too, but only the ones that are satirical and made up. And that's what this one is. Fake, made up, did not happen.